Alright, let's get started. I'm going to switch over to my main desktop screen real fast and just kind of walk through a little bit of what I did. So, the initial build for this randomizer is very simple. The idea is to take a lot of the mandatory items in the game and move around and kind of like swap them between each other for which checks will actually give you which items. A couple of things I left out for this initial build was the climbing claws. So you'll start with the climbing claws either way, because I have the file state start us in the Tower of Time right after linear end. So when it goes Metrovania, and some of the cutscenes already completed right there in the beginning. So you just start right there, and all 5 of the teleporters are unlocked and open. With that in mind, that opens up a little bit about where you can go and also makes some areas obsolete. I decided, due to that, and also because it was hard, to not randomize the candle or any of the elders' quest chain into the seed yet at all. I may come back to that later, or throw some parts of it in, we'll see. But for now, it's vanilla and really unnecessary because you can get to Riviera through the portal. You never need to go into the Dark Cave right now in the way it's currently made. Let's see. So the climbing claws, because you can't even leave the hub without being able to climb on something, I had to add the climbing claws back in, so there was really nothing fancy about that. Otherwise, there is no logic to this randomizer yet. It merely just throws things around, and majority of the time, the seeds it makes are not beatable because of what things are blocked by. There are clearly a lot of things in the game that you can't get to without at least first getting your rope dart and your glide, right? So with time, I want to work on that so that it actually can create seeds with logic in mind to make things beatable. So I just spent a while rolling seeds until I found one that seemed remotely beatable. And when I get this loaded, we're going to take a look at it. But the first thing that I'm doing, which the initial version will have you do, is you'll need to load or install a save file that kind of has you already in the Tower of Time. I just have a little, let me see here. I have a script that does it for me. So I'm just going to load my rando save file. And then I'm going to keep this thing around. This is the logs that the game writes to. I'm going to throw that to the side because I don't care about that, but I'm going to use it for stuff. I print out what we'd consider the spoiler log in there as well. So I'm going to leave it there for the moment. And I will be following it. I'm not going to do this blind. But there's a lot of cool things that I got to try out when doing this that you never really get to do in the base game. Because by this point in the game, you have those upgrades. So it's been kind of interesting to see what we can do with it. So let me see how I want to start this. I moved the file over. Everything's already installed. So let's jump into this. Let me switch us over. Let me kill the music here. And let me switch us over to this. Now, I just need to start the game. And I'm going to start my log follow so I can just watch it fill up in case I find anything that's wrong. It is totally possible that this won't work. There was a lot of things to work through to even let the game allow me to break it like I am. So it's going to be fun to see what does and doesn't work. The save file I loaded is going to create this right here. It is just a single file in the Tower of Time with nothing. All we have is the map, and so we have the scroll and climbing claws. That's all I have. So I'm going to start this, and we're going to see what happens. So something that first has happened off screen for me that I'm going to capture is the spoiler log for this seed, so I know where everything is. I'm going to put that off to the side somewhere so that I can reference it. I'm going to put it here for now. Alright, so I start in here. I don't have much. Like I was saying, I have first round complete. There you go. Oh, also, the default stuff here. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Yeah, it should be good. So, let's see. So you'll notice we come here, and all these portals are already open for me to go through, and now it's just deciding where can I go. My first playthroughs have determined that this portal will be completely useless to go through until you have until you can at least glide. There really is not much to be able to do in here because I can't make this stupid jump. So, and even if you can actually get past this jump with just the rope dart. But the next room, you have to glide on the airwaves, and you can't do that without the glide. So that actually locks quite a bit of the early part of the game until you have glide. So to get the abilities, you have to go and find them. So the abilities are mixed in with, so let's see. I've mixed in the wingsuit, actually it's called a grapple in the code, but the rope dart. So the wingsuit, the rope dart, the seashell, the power thistle, the fairy, the suncrest, the mooncrest, the magic boots, the tabbies, Ruxton's amulet, all of our little Phoebes, all the little Phobicans, and then all of the keys are all mixed together, and all of their locations may have can either be vanilla or have one of those items in it. So I have to go to one of those locations and find an item there, and it could be any of those things. So I'm taking a look at the logs here, and I can determine that the wingsuit, because that's probably a big thing that I want to find, the wingsuit, the grapple, and the magic boots. Those are probably three major items that I need to be able to go further along into the seed. Because it's very limited where I can go without the wingsuit and also without the grapple. I've deemed that you can actually do you can actually do Riviere without the wingsuit. You don't need it at all to complete it. You only need the grappling hook. And I've done that several times. Totally doable. You can even get a 2-cycle on the boss without it. And I know people know that, but it's still pretty fun. So I know that the wingsuit itself, according to this seed, is actually on the moth boss. So in order to get the wingsuit, I have to go beat the moth boss. In order to do that, I'm going to need a rope dart. Where's the rope dart at? Rope dart is on the Suncrest spot. So in order to get the rope dart, I need to be able to get to the Suncrest. In order to get to the Suncrest, I need the tabbies. Where's the tabbies at? Tabbies, where you be, yo? You're on Ruxton's amulet. No. Oh, no, tabbies are vanilla. Okay, well that makes it easy, right? So the tabbies are actually in their vanilla location this seed. So I can go straight for the tabbies in Sunken with absolutely no upgrades. Let's find out if that's true. That would be the first thing I do. So there should be a shop somewhere where I can take a look. But as you can see, I don't have any abilities or any upgrades. So if I pop in here, I don't have anything. So early is going to suck. So coming into Sunken with nothing like this, that's really going to suck. But we're going to figure it out. So I'm going to come through here and I'm going to see if I can get those boots. Oh, God. This sucks. No! Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this. and we'll take things pretty slow. I'm going to be trying to collect a lot of time shards too, so that I can get some of these upgrades to make my life easier. I forget how much I rely on them for some of this, these like later parts, because you just have them, and I don't do no upgrade runs because I'm not a masochist. I mean, I kind of am a masochist. I did take this thing on. Alright, so... Oh, God. Okay. I have a feeling I'm going to die a lot, and I'm okay with that. Except Corbel's gonna be taking all my money! Let's see if I can make this. Haha. Come up here, we're gonna flip this again, and then wait for it, and we'll try to do this one more time, but this time, I'm gonna do it better. Get my face, get my face, get my face, get my face. Alright, so obviously I can't make this normally. Oh, well, there you go. I'll just wait. Alright, flip it again. I'm just kind of picking up these time shows now just to get rid of Corbel as fast as I can. Drop and drop. There we go. So I think I still want to try PP skip, so I'm gonna try to have enough money to get it, to get the item to hit the projectiles, and I should have enough. So I'm gonna try to pick it up here. Yeah, I sure do. So Sam, just so this initial alpha build has no logic in it. So you are right; it is totally possible for, and in fact, 90% of the seeds I rolled are unbeatable. In the future, we would want logic in our randomizer, in our like seed generation, so that it can't create seeds that soft lock like that. There are places that you could put the tabby that would not soft lock you, but as long as it doesn't get blocked by something else, that then, so it's possible. Where to put these things, I have not even tried to determine yet. So as far as trying to make it so that these things can't be soft locked, I haven't gotten that far. In this particular seed, it is not randomized. It is in its vanilla location, which makes this seed a little more doable. Yes, I'm building this myself. I'm using the courier loader for like building in the functions and plugging it into the game, but all the logic for the randomizer I've built myself so far. So let's see if I screw up the PP skip. A little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, cool. I'm gonna try it again. I still remember how to do this. There we go. First time. Well, what I could not possibly randomize right now is Climbing Claw, because I start out the rando seed in the Tower of Time when Metrovania starts, and you cannot leave that place without a Climbing Claw. So it makes no sense right now to randomize it. So you will start with that and the scroll, cloud stepping. That is it. That's all you get so far. And what I have not randomized right now is I have not randomized the Elder chain. So getting the candle, I have not randomized that for two reasons. One, another thing that this seed has, or that this save file has, is all of the portals open. So Dark Cave is useless to go to. So getting the candle is kind of pointless. And then I decided not to throw it into the lot as a red herring item because apparently the logic for checking, for all of the checks in place for that entire quest chain is complicated. It's really weird because when you're going to go pick up the seed, it checks to see if you have the candle yet or not. That feels really weird to me, because it checks like at every stage if you have none of the items or so. So I have to hack that more. But because you never need to go into Dark Cave anyway, I didn't see a point. So I just took it out. But we have the tabbies now. Another thing you'll notice, because this is super early, I changed a lot of the back-end logic, but a lot of what you see isn't changed. So in that particular case, the tabbies are there, and it says you pick up the tabbies. That's going to be true for the entire seed. It's going to tell you the vanilla items that are there. And it even looks like you picked up the vanilla items, but you check your inventory to see what you actually got. Of course, I'll want to improve on that in the future, but for now, in this particular case, it happened to be vanilla, so yeah, I did get the Lightfoot tabbies from that spot. And since I have the Lightfoot tabbies, that opens up a few more places I can go to. Oh, Sam, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I have. Let me make sure I have that note written down somewhere. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen a couple of randomizers for games like this where they allow you to kind of teleport back to the hub without having to go to a shop, and I think that's a great idea for this game. And I want to make sure my notes have something like that. Let me write that down. Let's see. But yeah, that's a great idea. Let's say function 2 teleport back to hub from like pretty much anywhere. Teleporting can get complicated. Well, I mean, teleporting just breaks sometimes, depending on the state you're in. So I gotta be careful with that. But definitely something to look into, because that will be very helpful. Function to teleport back to hub from anywhere. Yep. Let's remember that, because that will help a little bit with where I can put things. Okay, so I have the spoiler log here, which is what I'm using to determine what my next steps are. And I also wanted to make sure that this was actually a viably completable seed before I tried it. So now that I have that, the rope dart. Oh, Janelle, thank you for the follow. It's good to have you here. I'm just showing off a little randomizer mod I am kind of on the end of the initial development for. So give it a shot, see how it goes. Now, we've got the magic boots, and according to my logs, the rope dart is at Suncrest, which is now I'm able to do because I have the magic boots. Let's go pick that up. Janelle, how are you doing today? Also, let me tell y'all something. If there's anything I've learned, it's going through this particular hallway. I don't know how many people have run no upgrades for any percent, and tried to do this exact water hallway without the water dash. It is a nightmare. Oh my god. Trying to get through that is super tight. And I died. Oh, that is rough. Alright, set some bomb-ass carrot cake. Nice. I was just talking to a buddy of mine about carrot cake recently, because I've never had a carrot cake that I could say that I've enjoyed, and it might be because I'm a child, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I know, right? Like I just think that it hasn't happened. And everyone who I tell that to just says, well, it's because you haven't had X carrot cake, like, or my carrot cake or whatever. And so I will always to this day say, I haven't found one, but, how old am I? 29. But I'm a child at heart, you know? I also prefer cheesecake. Stamp, 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 stamp. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention at that time. Almost dirty 30. Whatever. I'm told. And I can only say this because it's impending doom on myself. But I'm told 30's when it gets started. That's when life really picks up and your back stops hurting. Anyway, let's see if I can actually get through this. My birthday is the end of July, so I'll be 30 in soon. Alright, let me see if I can get through here. The end is near, whatever. Oh, I did it. Yes. Okay. Okay. Also, I have found that I'm not a pie fan. Not a fan of pies. I know, it took me forever, right? God, it's so embarrassing. Yes, exactly. I'm not a fan for mathematical constants. They really just irk me the wrong way. Alright, so we're coming back through here pretty normally, except without any upgrades, which just makes it an interesting kind of difficulty. Yeah, that's how I feel. Pies are meh. And I still think that has to do with some of my childlike nature. I don't know. I'll just pretend like it. Chicken pot pie, there you go. Janelle's like, nope. Unacceptable. You will not find that on, yeah, I'll do this. Not find that on the dinner table. I will not be ordering that. Alright, we should be done. So this is an example here. You can see the sun crest is sitting there, but that's not what I expect to pick up from here. So let's pick it up. So I picked it up, but I actually got the rope dart. So now I can rope dart. Yay me! I have rope dart. That lets me do important things. Excellent. So that was one of the biggest parts of this rando, was being able to inject that and make it happen. A later version of it would definitely want to also try to adjust the sprites based on the seed. That is a skill I do not have yet. Is it possible to actually like change that sprite at that location? Absolutely. I know that it's possible. I just don't know how to do it yet. And whenever I get to that part, I will definitely want to tackle that. Yeah, but I've seen, especially with some other mods that I've been seeing kind of in development, it's definitely possible. So let's see. I've got the rope dart. Let's kind of take a quick step back here and look at what we need. The game is still the way it is. You got to get the 6 notes to go into the music box to beat Phantom to beat the game. That's the goal of the rando seeds, right? So let's take a look at the keys and see where they're at. So the key of chaos is at Acro, which means I need to get into Cloud Ruins. And I think Cloud Ruins, kind of just off the bat, you say, okay, well, you're going to have grappling and gliding to be able to finish. I'm pretty sure that would actually be a fun thing to practice. Do you need? I think in some sections you actually do need to glide in Cloud Ruins. Because I don't think it would actually be possible. You got it, Janelle. Go find that subscribe button. Oh, no worries. Yeah, that would be interesting. I'd have to practice that. I'll have to practice that. Oh, Janelle, did you get like the notice that you got affiliate status on your channel? I can't remember if we had talked about it before. Because if you got it, here, I'll take a quick second. Let me take a look for you. Because I think, if I remember correctly, what you have to do is go to. You celebrated with non-pot pie? Respected. I can respect that. I think you need to go to. So I think, like, I go to my stream manager, and there's probably other ways to do this. And then on the left side, there's preferences and affiliate. Do you do it there? I think you do it there. So if you go like to on the Twitch website, if you go to like your stream manager, and then when you click the context menu on the far left, there should be a drop down for preferences and then affiliate. And if you click there, that should have the onboarding for you to follow to get started as an affiliate. And you can follow that. And then when that's done, you should have your button. And then, Levy, you have a question. Go ahead. As I. Yes. Okay. So that's a good question. I currently am not in any way targeting any of like uh, I'm trying to think of what else to call them. The green coins for that you would do for like 100% to get the windmill shuriken. I'm not even touching those right now. I haven't figured out yet, and this is the kind of stuff I kind of want to leave up as um, I kind of want to leave up as a community question, as if and when this thing builds, um, if we care and want that kind of stuff randomized into the seed. And then, yeah, like Samurai saying, like, even considering it, like, that opens up so many checks. That is a lot of checks. And the logic that has to figure out where things can and can't be because of that may take me or whoever decides to do it quite a while to figure out. But I need to build a system of logic for the seed first before we can play that game. I want to make it kind of good so that doing something like that wouldn't be so difficult. But for right now, um, are you talking about the item like the windmill shuriken? Um, yeah, so like putting a rope dart at a location where a coin is doable. But I'm not doing that right now. Let's see. Yeah, it is totally doable, but we're leaving those out for now. Those are all in their vanilla locations. And if for some reason doing a randomized run, you feel like also doing a 100% run to go pick them up to get the windmill shuriken, um, I won't stop you. I did not randomize any of that, so that's all vanilla. Okay, so we were running through the spoiler log that I hid. Okay, so we determined that one of the notes is up in Cloud Ruins, and that might be possible the um, without the glide. Maybe we'll play with that. Maybe we'll take some time to play with that. In order to get into Cloud Ruins, I have to have Ruxin's Amulet. Ruxin's Amulet is at Key of Hope. I don't think it's possible to get to the Autumn Note without the glide. I don't think it's actually possible to get there. So unfortunately, I can't really try it out this time, but when I get there, I can mess around with it and see if it's possible to get through without ever gliding. We'll remember that when we get up to Cloud Ruins. But unfortunately, I can't force myself to, because in order to get up there, I have to pick up the Wingsuit. So let's just go knock out the Wingsuit in a section that I found very interesting with this seed. This seed requires me to do the entirety of Riviere without the Wingsuit. And I have practiced it a few times, and it is possible. There is only one spot I have found so far that is a required damage boost to get through without the glide. Carlos, what's up, man? Glad you're coming over hanging. I guess West stopped to stream. I'm just getting into the rando right now. Yeah. So I've only picked up a few things so far. I've got my tabbies and... Okay, gotcha. So I got my tabbies and I got my grapple. And I think the grapple by itself... there he is. The grapple by itself should be all I need to get through here. Let's find out if that's true. And I'll also be picking up as much money as I can. Did I say... Oh, no. Okay, so let me explain something to everybody, because I had a hard time with this when I was developing. The item in the code... So, the wingsuit. So the item in the code for the rope dart is called grapple. So I keep calling it a grapple or a grapple hook now, because I stare at it so much in the code, but it's a rope dart. Sabotage is even more of an evil genius than I ever thought possible. So now that I have the rope dart, I'm gonna see if I can go get the wingsuit. Rope dart in the streets, grapple in the Alright. So let's see. What are some interesting parts here? It all kind of goes a little normal. Nothing too fancy yet. Might come up to a fun spot here in a little bit. I have determined that you do not require the wingsuit to beat this level, and I know that to be true. I've beaten it 3 times now without the wingsuit. And it's fun because you'll actually never get to this part of the game without the wingsuit. It's not possible. So it's a fun, it's a fun kind of challenge for you to actually have to do this level without the wingsuit, and it is definitely doable. Although I'll tell you, doing this level without air recovery is hell on earth. I'm just going to tell you that now. And I know that y'all understand that. It is the worst thing in the world. Because essentially getting a hit spells death for you in most rooms. No! Ugh. I should have waited. So shop items like the rope dart and wingsuit are randomized. You start off in the tower with the climbing claws, so that is not randomized. There is nothing at that location. But the grapple hook and wingsuit are. And the upgrades you buy are not randomized, so you can go buy them as normal. You just start off with no money, so you have to get the money first. You start off with absolutely no shop upgrades. Let's see what I can buy. Can I save my life in any way? That would be nice. Okay, yes, second wind, thank you. And I'm going to take health and the shurikens. Do I need the shurikens? Who doesn't need shurikens? Alright, so everyone's favorite room is interesting without wingsuit. I've actually found that it's not as difficult as I thought it would be. Because it makes me do the room slower, which I think is always just the problem with this room to begin with. Wingsuit really isn't the savior here. Because you can make all the jumps no problem. Obviously, I can't do bird yeet without the wingsuit, so I'm not even going to bother. And that's what brings us to an interesting room, this one. So you'd imagine that this would be one of the spots that would be difficult to do without the wingsuit. And it kind of is, but it is absolutely doable, and I'll show you what it looks like, if I can do it right. So if you pop right here, you can time a rope dart on that lantern just in time without taking damage. Like that. So, totally doable. And in this room, we kind of just jump through casually. Oh god. Okay, I have recovery now, I remember that. Okay, this room, not for me spikes are there. I'm just going to do this casually. Oh god. And then we're gonna come through here. Oh no, I fell! Oh my god. Ignores the fairy. You're right, you're right. Kind of semi-casually. Waiting for the logs down there, we typically, getting over it, ninja version. Yeah, getting over it with Bennett Ninja. Okay, so here's the spot here that I have not figured out how to do without damage boosting. So you have to have enough health to make this jump. You would typically have to make that glide over. I can get pretty close, but typically I have to take the damage on the spikes. I haven't figured out another way to do it. Yeah, so for me, what's Samurai saying? You roped out the top area and take the damage boost off the spikes. So if you don't have 3 health at this spot, you need to get 3 health, or 4 health. I can try 2 rope darts, that might be possible. Let's see. Oh, look at you! Samurai coming in with the big plays! Don't even need that damage boost, because he's so smart! Changing the name of the game. Look at that. I stared at this level for hours. Samurai comes in for like 2 minutes and improves it. Gotta love it. Okay, so nothing fast here. I gotta flip these flowers. Samurai, you thinking about putting that into your run? Because that kind of was pretty fast. Faster than just gliding. Yeah. Yeah, that's totally legit. That actually might be a legit strat to shave off some, like a second or so. Maybe a second. Yeah, new Samurai yeet. Gotta do the puzzle. Alright. Bounce around here. Oops. This room we can still do pretty fast. And then, okay, so I haven't taken a lot of time to try to think of how to speed this room up. Obviously, without gliding, bird skips I can't imagine being too viable. Unless someone knows something that I don't or can't remember. So for now you just kind of do it casually. If I can get to the next ledge over. Oh god. Are you talking about? You're talking about right, kind of right there on the left side? Maybe. Let's find out. Rude ass birds. Oh, with the one tile. Holy shit. Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's pretty no, Kovic, you're right. That is not easy, and nor would it be required for the run. You could do the whole room casually with this setup and be fine. I just figured while I had some of the folks in here, we gotta try some of the crazy stuff. I think you're right. I think if someone does what I did, but significantly better, that could be done without requiring a one tile. Very cool. Alright, we'll drop down here, flip that, climb back up, and go. Hey Sawyer, hey my love. Alright, so let's just go fight this boss real fast. So I'm coming in here to get the wingsuit. That's what Moth the Bat has for me. Oh, Levy, thank you for that clip. I want to take a look at it later. I cannot believe. I'm so surprised. I'm so glad that I get to share this with y'all, because y'all get to even teach me stuff as I'm doing it. So much fun. I never would have even thought to try that unless I had talked to y'all. Alright, so let's see. Okay, I messed that up. It is still possible to 2-cycle without the wingsuit. I'm sure y'all know. You just have to anticipate the damage and the movement. Oh, God, nope. See, I did it too early and I freaked out. That's okay. You can do phase 3 without it, because you can make that jump. There's 2 hits. So there we go. You finished this whole place. No wingsuit. Gave me the fairy, but not really. Because now I have wingsuit. Whee! Alright, now I can wingsuit and do things. I'm going to show y'all something kind of funny. I'm going to die. So, something interesting that I found, the upgrade. So, I have the wingsuit now. But I cannot buy the upgrade for the wing attack, for like the air, for the glide attack. You can't buy that until you do the cutscene where you're supposed to get the wingsuit from. For now, I've left that as is. I think that's kind of an interesting... I thought that was kind of interesting. If we decide later on to fix that so that it unlocks with the wingsuit, I'll have to hack into it a little bit, but I think that's possible to fix. But I already made a note of that one. Yeah, apparently you do. I've learned so much about what does and doesn't require cutscene views. I thought you just had to have the wingsuit in order to do this, but no, it actually checks on the shop's state on whether that cutscene has been played. So, because it hasn't been played, that has not unlocked. If I go to that spot and pick up whatever's there, it will. And in this game, the wingsuit check hides a key. So going there is going to be required anyway. So it's not really going to go out of my way to do it. If I get to the cutscene, will be soft lock? Nope, it will not. I fixed all that. I'll just buy this real fast. So, because I already have it, going and picking it up is not going to break anything. That was some of the hardest stuff to fix. Okay, so let's see. I've got the 3 major items, right? I've got the grapple, I've got the wingsuit, and I have tabbies. So, you imagine pretty much the game is unlocked to you. You just need to find the things that block other things. So, like, for instance, I have to go to Cloud Ruin, so I have to get the Ruxin amulet. What else? So I have to go, I have to get the Ruxin amulet. I have to get let's see here. Key of Symbiosis. All right. So Key of Symbiosis is Elemental Skylands. Now that would require me, by some technical casual logic, for me to get the ferry, which is at Seashell, and then go and heal the monk, and then have the monk slap off the lanterns, do all that stuff. I'm lazy. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leash to get in there. But something I was thinking about when thinking about the logic, I don't want to require leashing in the logic of the game. So it has to be possible for you to get the ferry without having to leash and go to Clockwork that way. Something I'm just trying to remember. Because, I mean, I'll do leashing, but I'll never require people to do it. It's not... not everyone loves doing it. I can't even say I love doing it. It's just a thing. Yes, I want the randomizer to be able to be played casually. So, let's think here. What do I want to do next? Because it's mostly just keys at this point, making sure I can get them. So I've got a key at Acro, a key at Wingsuit, a key at Rope Dart, a key at... The Key of Strength has a different key. It has the Key of Love. The key of Strength is at Clockwork, and the Symbiosis key is at Claustro. So let us go... What do I want to do next? Let's go and pick up... Let me think. So... Grapple... and Key of Strength could be could be kind of gotten together because they're both at Crags. Claustro and Wingsuit. So if I go back to Wingsuit and then continue on to Bamboo, pick up Claustro, that's 2 keys right there. I can check Seashell, but I really don't need to. Logically, I do to get the fairy bottle to do everything, but I'm gonna skip it because I know how to leash. So let's do this. Let's go to Grotto. Yeah, I've got my list here. I am not doing this seed blind. I will probably not do so until the system is in place that builds seeds that can get like actually be completed. 90% of the seeds I have rolled so far are impossible to beat because of what blocks what. So I just kept spinning them until I found one that works, and then I'm following it and just kind of using it to think about logic. I'm not worried about like trying to think about things like odds and stuff like that quite yet. That'll be a fun future thing to get into. So let's start by going to Grotto. And we're going to go back to where I would typically pick up the Wingsuit, and I'm going to get a key while I'm there. Specifically, the Key of Courage. Nope, I don't have that upgrade. We talked about this. Oh god! Oh god! I know how to play this game, I swear. So, the major takeaway for me in this run is just to make sure that with all the knowledge that I have, not trying to do anything special, does it even work? Like, can I actually beat the game? Does any of the code that I wrote break anything? Does it soft lock us in ways that I can't work around because of the code? I can't damage boost. That is the stuff I'm looking for right now. And then also, when things are going right, thinking about like future state, things I can improve on, and then of course getting y'all's feedback. Because I want to get this into a state where I can build the first alpha build for like y'all to download and give it a shot and tell me what you think. Yeah, Sam, you're right. You are able to get past. You are able to get past, and you can actually get all the way up and out into Quillshroom without the rope dart. You don't need it for that segment. It is doable, but hard. Oh man, Kobe caught it fast. I didn't even see him. And then you can get all the way back to the wingsuit check without wingsuit. You can't go any further back without it because you have to have a wingsuit to float up and go past that. Levy, don't you worry. If this thing goes all right, I'm gonna clean it up, clean up some of the leftover code, and then I'm gonna put some documentation together, and I'll put out the alpha build for y'all to mess around with if you want. I also want to include at least this seed and how you can install it so that you can do a seed that's guaranteed to work and try it out, and then ways to generate others, and then see if they're even doable until I improve stuff. But let's get back. You can actually climb this or get through here without the wingsuit. You do not need it. You would need it to go back, but you don't need it to go, well, to go forward, I guess, but not, yeah, you get it. Kind of backtracking through this place is actually not too bad without the wingsuit, funny enough. It's trying to go normally, that's the problem. Alright, so yeah, this would be the spot where you're like, okay, well, I guess I can't do anything if I don't have the wingsuit, but you have the shop here to go back to the hub. So we talk, and they're like, oh, hey, it gives us the same cutscene as if I don't have the wingsuit, right? And it says, hey, you got the wingsuit, good job, you. Except I didn't, I got the Key of Courage. So that's good. And now the upgrade is unlocked. So, when I have the money, I'm going to go buy that. Oh, I know I did skip the money crystal. I never think to get them, you're right. I do need to pick those up. Okay, so shopkeeper, you're drunk. Give me your keys. Literally, give me your key. Key of courage. Ah, got it. Okay, so now since I have the wingsuit, I might as well go back because I need to go pick up Claustro. And let me think here. Claustro. I think you need the wingsuit for Claustro. Stab. Yeah, I think you need, I don't think you need... Wait, hang on. Let me think here. Yeah, you definitely need the wingsuit to make this jump. You can't do it with the rope dart, I think. Wait, can you? Oh, you better believe I'm going to try. Hang on. No, that's way too far. There's no way. Okay, you have to have the wingsuit for this jump. Okay. I can't remember the last time I did this run casually. I don't know if you need the rope dart for any of that. Let's just do it. Let's find out. Oh, hang on. Let me just make sure I still got this. Oh, too low. Too low. Stop it. It's right here. Yeah, this is how I do it. Actually, can you even get through here without the rope dart? Alright, Sam, we're going to go practice it. We're going to see if I can do it without the rope dart. Because you're right, I don't know if it's possible. Probably not. I don't have the upgrade yet, come on. Oh, okay. So you need the rope dart. Good to know. Let me get back to that and remember, because I thought I was able to get all the way to the shop without the rope dart. Let me try again. So I got another note. Because I thought I was able to get all the way back to the shop without having either, but I could be wrong. I may have just been testing out no wingsuit. You want me to go back down real quick? Go back down where? To where Claustro was? Okay. Listen, alright? Don't be trying to figure out problems that I have with my code, okay? Like, that's not cool. Yeah, it looks like he doesn't quite deactivate for some reason. It might be because I don't actually have him, so the sprite disappears from the cutscene, but the trigger stays there because I don't have him. That's not a huge deal for me right now, but something to remember. Slap. Yeah, that's a good catch. And I probably know exactly what it is that's causing that. It would just take another bit of... Why did I do that? I don't want to go up. Okay, let's go to the shop. I want to go back to the hub. The notes and specifically should be fixed. Cooking, remind me of that when we get to one to make sure that that's true. Wait, I'm chatting with him. I don't want to do that. Samurai, just real quick, let's play out what you're talking about, because I want to make sure I remembered this. Is this possible to do? Let's see if I can get all the way back to the shop without using either gliding or rope darting to make it happen. Ignore those glides, they were useless. So I think that that room is totally doable without the rope dart. What you can do is, I think you just need to get a double hit off that. Hang on, I just got it a second ago. What did I do? Damn. Hang on. Yeah, for a casual player it would be hard, you're right. Okay, that might have worked. Yeah. So with the double lantern hits, it's doable. Casually it'd be very difficult. Okay. And I think that's where my mindset was, but it's still something to think about. This will be fun research to do once I want to start getting into the logic. I have to figure out how I want to do all that. Okay, what's next? So we did those two. I've got 2 notes, and the ones I have left is Cloud Ruins, Rope Dart, Key of Strength, and Skylands. Let's go knock out Skylands. Wait. I can't. Let's go knock... Yes, I can. I can't do Cloud Ruins. Skylands is going to have the Key of Strength, so let's go pick that up. Obviously, there is like... You straight up cannot come in here and get anywhere in the Cloud Ruins teleport without the rope dart. Do you need the wingsuit too? You might need both, because I don't even think... Oh, you want me to go check the check? I can go check the Craig's key first. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think you can actually use this teleporter without both of the upgrades, to be honest. Let's do the Crag stuff first. I'm going to choose to do this because I want to hit the rope dart check, and then I want to hit the note check. Nah, screw it. I think this way would be faster. Yeah, we know that we need the wingsuit for this way. If you want to get back into Crags without the wingsuit, you can go back through that teleporter, go to the left, and go through Quillshroom, and you can get all the way to the grapple check without the grapple. And you'll need the grapple to get any further. Ow. The power seals are not randomized. Currently, I am not touching the power seals. So, the power seals are not randomized, and you won't get anything from the power seals. So there's no reason to go to them unless you are planning on 100%ing this rando seed and getting the windmill shuriken for whatever reason that you might like. Currently, they are not part of anything in the randomizer. In the future, it will be possible. Just talking about it casually in here, if we did add them in, I mean... that might be like an expert level version of the randomizer logic. Just because there's so many of them, and trying to like logically think of where you can and can't go with which items, it might take a little bit to even figure it out. Oh, I love that little Sawyer picture. It's my favorite. All right. So I'm gonna leash to get the strength key. If I didn't want to have to leash, this would require doing the fetch quest for the Power Thistle. Power Thistle is randomized, So what the Power Thistle location would give me. Oh yeah. So what the Power Thistle would give me is Power Thistle. Wow. Is this even randomized? Okay, so I could go. You would need Wingsuit to do that. So I'd go up, grab the Power Thistle, come down, change it, give it back to them. They punt me over, and then I think in the strength area up there, you need. Do you need rope dart for that? I'm trying to remember. I haven't gone back there in so long. If like the second punt for the strength key requires the rope dart. You need rope dart? Okay, there you go. So I'd probably consider you need at least. Wow, that sucked. You'd need at least rope dart. Do you need wingsuit once you get knocked over there? I can't remember. Oh, that was just awful. Can I back it up? No. Alright. That's fine. We'll do it again. I haven't practiced this in a while. Oh, it was too slow! Oh, I hate setting this guy up. Oh, puppy dogs. Slash, stab, and slash, and stab, and slash. Wow. Get out of here. There we go. First try. Oops. There we go. So pick up this note. I had to do a lot of fixing to get the cutscene to play right, and for the note to actually show up. What we didn't do was made sure that it worked even though I had the note already. I think. Because, yeah, if we had done Skylands first, we would have had the Key of Strength to then go pick up the Key of Strength. Yeah, I'm certain that it works. We didn't test that here. Let's see. So we'll be able to test to make sure Symbiosis still works right for us. And I got the Key of Love from that. Do I need to go to Key of Love? No. Key of Love has the Demon King crown, which I would use to get into Corrupted Future. Symbiosis was it was kind of an issue that I think was corrected with one of our batches, with one of our attempts, because it used to not grant me anything. It would play the cutscene fine, no problem with whatever I had, but would never give me whatever item it was. But I fixed that. Yeah, so that should be fine, and we'll be able to test it anyway. I don't need to go to Corrupted Future because the Key of Courage is Acro, and I don't need to go into Forlorn. Because Forlorn has the Suncrest. And since I don't need to go to Key of Love, which is the Demon King crown, so the Key of Love actually locks itself. I don't need it. Oh, I'm sorry. The Demon Crown lock kind of locks itself or whatever. So I don't even need to go there. So I don't need to get any of the Phobicans. I did that. Oh, yes. I need to go to Grapple. I need to go to the Rope Dart and do that check because that's another key. Whoops. Get away. Oh, whoops. I forgot which one teleports. Maybe it was the first one. I can never remember. Alright, so we'll check here. Congratulations, I made it to this guy. And he gave me another note. So that's the Key of Hope. So I need 2 more keys. I got a key at Cloud Ruins, and I got a key at Elemental Skylands. To get to Cloud Ruins, I need to go pick up the Ruxin Amulet, which is at the Key of Hope. So we'll do that. I can just go knock that out real fast, I guess. I don't think it matters so much. So I'll just go do the Key of Hope check real fast. That's actually a good check there, because I have the Key of Hope. So the Key of Hope should work, and it should give me Ruxin's Amulet. So let's see if both of those things happen. So this room, I think, is doable without the Wingsuit. It's just scary. This room is not. I don't think it's possible to get through this room without a Wingsuit. So, moot point. Oh. Spin. Oh, well, that was a good use of my time. I leashed him. Alright, so let's do this check real fast. There we go. Okay, so the note is here. That's good. Even though I have the note still shows up. The trigger still works. That's good. The cutscene is playing. I had a weird bug when I was coding where I actually caused the sound effects from the cutscene to trigger every time the note touched you. It was really bad. Oh, you have to find the kick ability? No. You just have to get lucky, I guess. Requiring 1 tile should also not be a thing. Let's see. Or tricks like that. Because I think you can technically do that with like big K's backup without the one tile. So rope dart and wingsuit. Wingsuit, both of them would be required for this check. Because there are some air vents in the later part of it. I guess health would be nice. So let's see. I did that check. Oh, and it gave me the Ruxin Amulet. I forgot to look. So everything worked, and I got the Ruxin Amulet. So I'm kind of done picking up items. The Key of Hope was Key of Strength. Yeah, oh, and Key of Hope had the Ruxin Amulet, which is why I went there. So I have all my items, so essentially this is kind of like our version of Go Mode, I guess. It's just go pick up the notes, and then go into Music Box. So my 2 notes are both in this portal. And because I have preferences, I don't think this jump is possible without wingsuits. Even though the rest of it feels like it is. I'm going to forego Cloud Ruins for the moment and try to get more upgrades first. I don't need to, but it doesn't matter. I have to do this movement either way. So, whoops. Oh, great. I completely forgot how to fall here. I don't know if anyone else who agrees that they actually prefer the glacial ascent versus the glacial descent. I like ascending glacial more than I do like falling down it. Oops. I want money. Give me money. Oh god, I almost died. Oh, I forgot he was there. Quick. Alright. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna leash to get into Skylands. Oh hey Manfred! What's going on, y'all? Miss you. Oh, I messed it up. Got it. Also, I have learned, and y'all probably guessed this, you don't actually need Wingsuit to make this leash jump either. You could just use you really just need Rope Dart to do a leash. And then you can do it without the Wingsuit. Although I don't really think it's possible. Wait, it might be. It might be possible to do Skylands without a Wingsuit. Yo, yo. Just figuring out how to random. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. So I used a teleport to get in here for some testing. So I arrived back on Manfred, but I hadn't freed Manfred, so there were two Manfreds, one frozen and one just sitting there chilling on the screen. It was very disturbing. Also, teleporting to Skylands without first entering Skylands really messes with the game. Be careful about that. Alright, so I want to see if I can do this space without needing to use the... without needing to use my glide. I don't think I need the wingsuit for this. I think this room is the only one that worries me, and I have a feeling that it is doable with this bat. Let me try it again. Bam, 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 bam. You see nothing. Messenger does not have a randomizer. I am currently developing one, and I am actually testing out for the very first time right now. So you're catching the very first attempt at one that I know of. And if this works out pretty well, we'll have a pretty legitimate alpha version of the randomizer. Hang on. There might be another way to do this. Because jumping between them, that's just ridiculous. The worst part is that I know it's doable. I just hate it. I hate that I did this to myself. Good thing the music is great. Oh. My brain broke for a second. Actually. Oh. I want to get health. I think health will help me. There's health over here. Nope. Alright, I'll take the damage boost. It's fine. Alright, so can I get through here? Let's find out. Spirit damage boost is greater than spikes. That is absolutely true. Oh, you get a bird too! Damn it! I didn't even have to do that. Okay, well anyway. I forgot about the bird. Watching the worst show on television. Alright. So I'll try the rest of it and keep an eye out. I don't think Wingsuit's required for Skylands. I think you can do this whole place without it. Oh. Also, I'm being really lazy with my mashing right now. I imagine that's the sound Manfred makes when he shoots the big fireball. Alright, so Earth Skyland. Oh man, I haven't actually done it casually in a while though. And I can't acquire a damage boost, that's silly. Let's just go through here normally this time. And just see what happens. Let's see if I get stuck anywhere by not gliding. Also, tabbies aren't required for this place, but I'm using them for simplicity. The two places that you can even use them are doable without them. And even though I am using the wingsuit around here, I'm just seeing spots where I couldn't do it without it. And I don't think there is. Levy saw me glide. Reset. I gotta reset. Oh, no. But yeah, I don't think glide is necessary at all for this place. Invalid run. So the way that I'm setting it up now, it's very simple. I tried to do some stuff to make it more automated. I don't have that stuff in place yet, so right now what I would suggest is if you try using the randomizer, you'll want to load a randomizer save onto your game first before you use it. And I have one that I'll probably package with it, and all you do is you take that save file and you put it in place of your game save file, and then it will put your game in the state where you're in the tower with no upgrades except for the climbing claws. You have no time spent, no money, and yeah, things like that. Thanks for the host Jackson. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Let's see if I can get through here. Water temple. That doesn't need anything. Water temple just the water skyland just sucks based on what upgrades you have. Having glide makes that place a lot nicer. Oh, I do need to put a cat bug scream. That's true. That'd be so good. Pony Lords, jump for your lives! We're best friends town. Oh, what does he say? We're best friends now. We're having soft tacos later. Host train. That's the best kind of train. Rebecca. Puh. Man, what are you thinking about? You thinking about trying this thing out? If it actually functions and I can beat the game, I think we have our first alpha version to try out. And if we do, I'll get some documentation and stuff ready and I'll post it for y'all so that y'all know how to install and use it. And then I'll just let y'all like run with it. Hey, oh. I was really into the music for a second. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so I guess technically you need the wingsuit to do Skylands. I forgot about this part that I never do. Because, I mean... So, wait, are you able to do that without, hang on, let me see. No, you can't really rope dart that without wingsuiting. Here's what you can do. Come on, you can make that jump. There you go. So that's one way you can do it. Now, can I do it again without actually... There we go. That's how I like to do it. Making someone do that and... Yeah. So, there are ways for us to get through here without ever having to have wingsuit. I'll have to think about... how I want to incorporate that in the logic, because you might do that anyway as a way to come here and like break the logic to do this check, but I'm not sure if I can require it. Something to think about when we actually start trying to think on how we want to implement logic into it. I'm sure, because I'm going to rely heavily on the community to help me establish fair logic for the randomizer. I do not want to build it all by myself. I mean, writing the code, that's one thing, but actually thinking of the logic for it is going to take a meeting of the minds, I think. Pooh. I think the way that like the Link to the Past randomizer does it is that they sort and apply items in waves, in phases, kind of. And obviously the rope dart and the wingsuit would be like an early phase. What am I doing? I'm not even thinking right now. Whatever. I lost all that money. It's good. Like, those are obviously early items you would go looking for in order to do more checks, because your checks will be very limited at the beginning of the game. There's only... I think there's really only 2 or 3 teleporters you can go into legitimately at the beginning. Some more open up with rope dart, and the rest open up with the glide. The wingsuit. Why do I always do that? So, let's see here. I'm gonna tabby because I'm lazy. Well, and this is where I died. I want y'all to remember me as the person who tried and died. Just like that. Yep. Yeah, I just felt it. Just take my money, Clover. Just take it. Shove it down your throat! So let's finish opening this up. I love that that lantern can drop a health. That's so funny. I used the tabbies, but they weren't required. So, anyway, we're done with this place. I love the music. Let's go do the boss. So what we're hoping to see, the boss and everything should work just fine. The cutscene should run just fine, and then I should get the right item. The right item is... Key of Strength. Trying to speed up this boss fight a little bit too, because I think you can. I think with timing, it's actually possible to both shuriken and rope dart the heart, so you can get an extra hit in. Minor time saves. It's hard. And also, I suck at mashing. Oh, see, like that. I was able to throw a shuriken and rope dart it. Oh god. How many times do you die at Claustro? Too many times. Oh, get away from me, missile. Ah! God damn it. I am going to die here! Oh, I used them all. Okay. Oh god. Ah! Oh no. There's still an adequate amount of sucking here. Wait. Well, you know what I mean. Alright, so we got the cutscene, all that's good. It spits out the note. Again, I have not been able to mess with sprites yet, so the sprites will be vanilla even though they're not actually the item you receive. So you confirm the item that you got by checking your inventory. Oh, no, 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 no. Bling! Whee! Whee! Okay. So all that worked. I was able to get out of there just fine. Go back here. Sit backwards on Manfred for some reason. And now I've got another note. I should have the Key of Strength. There it is. So I need one more note. That note is in Cloud Ruins. At this point, I think it's faster to go back to teleport than it is to climb Glacial. No, no Manfredception this time. Oh, I didn't even hit the lantern. What's the point in living? I'm gonna grab these. I'm gonna grab the damage reduction. Wait, can I afford that? No! But I will later. Alright, so... Cloud Ruins. Yeah, I know. Owned! I suck! Alright, so let's go back to here and head up to Cloud Ruins. And obviously, this goes without saying, but it's still an interesting thing to make sure works, is that I have the amulet, but I never went and checked on his grave. Does this check still work? And it does. When I think about it, it would be nice to just full clear, but honestly, this seed is not fully clearable because there's some things that are locked by itself. So, like, I can never get to Corrupted Future. I don't think it's possible to get to Corrupted Future. So I can't actually test that. Am I getting support from Sabotage on the rando? Short answer, no. We have support from Sabotage on a grand scale to mod the game, but I don't get any like development support from them when I write the code. No. Oh, we were gonna do something here. Yeah, they stay pretty out of it. Is that I'm trying to say if that's accurate to say. Because the way it's modded is we're loading and hijacking some of the code. Some of like the Unity code from the engine. So it's not like they gave us a way to mod it. We built our own mod loader to load our mods in. But when we talked to them, they didn't mind that we did that. But they do support, as in they're okay with us modding. I guess if that's the question you're getting at, then yes, absolutely. They have no problem with us modding the game, as long as we make it abundantly clear that the mods that we make are not they're not associated with Sabotage in any way. Okay, so I'm going to come back here, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that I'm going to see how far I can get into Cloud Ruins without relying on a glide. I might accidentally glide because I suck, but I want to see how far I can get without actually gliding. Phoenix Wright sprite change. Someone's going to have to make it. Who's going to make the sprite for me? If someone makes the sprite for me, I will code that sprite in here somehow. Did I glide? Wait, was I not paying attention? Did I glide? Oh, of course I did. I glide to do this. Hang on. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. There we go. Okay. That was one of them, right? Did I do it somewhere else? I can't remember. But that was one of them. Make sure that worked. Okay. But yeah, that works. But you're right, I totally did. That's a habit of mine. Alright, climb up here. Should be no problem. Okay, so this room is the scary one. Because I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to get back up in this room without gliding. Let's find out. Because I got to flip this around. Climb up here. Can I get out of here without having to... Oh, I might be able to. Yeah, I totally can. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. It's fine. God damn it! Son of a bitch! So you have to be able to glide to do Cloud Ruins. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh well. Oh well, we tried. We tried. Son of a bitch! Give me all that money. I want the money. A quote function? I'll have to look into that. Watch, I'm thinking about it now. Kovic's probably already making one. Yeah, see, so Levy, what you're thinking about is the stuff I forgot about that other room. I was wondering how you're going to do like the bird room and stuff without gliding, and that's what I was looking forward to. Doesn't look like it matters, but we're still going to see. So, damn it. I don't think it's possible to get past this one. God, never mind. There's so many spots. Whoops. Oh. When it comes to, because there's some things you can put in to Twitch, and then I have a Nightbot that I use for some things. But honestly, I don't utilize bots and stuff enough. I need to utilize them more. That is some of what I'm doing, Raptor. Yeah, the major goal of this particular run through is to make sure that the randomizer technically functions. So I'm making sure that when I actually go and pick up the items, they give it to me, and that if I have items that I'm then later checking for that have different items, that works. And stuff like that. I want to make sure the game is like beatable from like a code perspective, so that it doesn't just crash and there's nothing you can do, or soft lock because of bad code and bugs. So then the next part is the logic, because I had to roll about 30 seeds to get a seed that was actually beatable, because of how much stuff gets locked. And that is definitely a problem that will have to be worked through before this thing could be more widespread. And that'll be next. So the reason why I'm doing it is just because I'm taking the opportunity to kind of learn some of the logical stuff now, so that I can remember it for later. So for things like, man, I want to know if... So like I learned that Riviere is completely doable without spikes. Saws. Riviere is totally doable without Wingsuit. You don't need it. And Sam actually helped me find out another totally legitimate way to do it without having to damage boost. So it is completely viable, if not difficult. But completely doable. I'm taking that health. So Levy, the way that it works, I'll take a break and I'm going to show you. So let me flip over to this. Something that Courier added, which is our mod loader, is they have... Oh, I closed it. There we go. Something our mod loader has that I've added to is something called mod options. Can I? There we go. So I roll seeds. I actually roll seed numbers. And these seeds generate the items that get created. So every time you open the game, if that seed is what is put in place for your save file, so this is save file 1, 2, and 3, every time you open it, you'll get the same seed. So that I got working. And then let me show you something. Well, let me break a rule real fast. I'm gonna set an instant save here so I don't have to do anything fancy. And go to the title screen. So in the options on the main menu, this does not work in game. There'll be a third-party mod option that allows you to generate a random seed for whatever save file you want. And when you generate it, it will change the seed that it builds the game off of. I'm not going to do that because the seed that I have now works. Got a chain letter on Discord. Gross. Oh. So that's how it's going to work. And then I just want to continuously improve that as we go on. So let's see. Let's continue on. Pretend like I totally played through that level again normally and didn't put a save there to save time because I'm lazy. We'll go through here. I don't have the damage reduction. I'm not going to bother damage boosting through here. And getting crushed like the 2 or 3 times I did the last time I practiced this. I think I can make this, yeah. Oh, Grandpa Climb. Gotta get that. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get the upgrade. I had the money. Yeah, to go through my own randomizer. Yeah, I mean, if there's something I had to do, it was play this game over and over. God, I've actually taken development notes every day that I've worked on this, uh, for like notes of things that I've done. I just realized I never switched my thing back over. Let me fix this. But you can actually see. Where's my Sublime Tech? There we go. This is what I'm using to as the spoiler logs, by the way. But I took modding notes. That just little notes of what I was doing ever since. God, is that March 26th? That's when I started doing this. And then every day I worked on it, I just added notes. Yeah. So, and then here's today. This is where I'm writing stuff in. Switch that back over. Okay, there we go. So, let's get through here. And another great thing, I've always known this, but it's always good to relearn this, is just how much you learn from showing others. Like, if I just sit down and, like, heads down code all this stuff, that's one thing. But the moment that I show this to someone else and get their feedback and talk about it, I immediately get ideas for ways to improve it and make it better. So... It's definitely a combination of those. Forgot about the lantern there. That's funny. Oops. Alright, we're gonna go for the teleport and see if we get it. Got it. Yeah, this was the room here. I don't know if you can get through this room without... Well, you know what? We say that. It's totally doable. There's nothing bad with that. This room too, and then I'm gonna make Kovic real mad here in a second. One of the worst rooms. I am not doing this without it. Obviously, it's technically doable. I'm glad that this is not the deciding room. Cooney, it's randomized, yo! I've been working on this randomizer, and we're testing it out now to see if it even works. How you doing, Cooney? So specifically right now, what's randomized? Here, let me pull up the list. I'm gonna show you. All right. So these are all the items that are randomized. So the wingsuit, the rope dart, the seashell, the power thistle, the fairy, the suncrest, the mooncrest, the tabbies, Ruxin's amulets, all of the phobikins, and all of the notes. That's what's randomized right now. Oh, it's too small to see. Hang on. Let me make this better for you. Will this work? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So the wingsuit. Hang on. Bigger. Yeah, Cooney, right now it's just items. There have also been, I have seen a prototype enemizer, and that's really cool. I think there's some things to work through, but I've seen enemy randomizations in the game, at least prototyping to prove it's possible. Randomizing room layouts, we haven't messed with yet. The enemizer was really cool looking. We also, I don't know if you had heard, I have personally messed with a mod that it creates hard mode versions of the bosses. So I got to do a hard mode version of uh, Leaf Golem and Ruxton. Ruxton hard mode is so fun. Oh my gosh. For instance, his rain that he does when he's high, cannot be cloud stepped on. So start with that. Plus, whenever he is on his UFO, he spawns skeletons. And also when he's on his, I think it's on his UFO, I think. And then when he's on his UFO, he also shoots projectiles while he's lasering. So that's just a couple of things I saw during the fight. But I had helped them debug it and give feedback on it a little while ago. It's so much fun. I hope that they continue working on it and put it out. Yeah, could you imagine like if the spirits were just randomized into turtles and they all just fell? Oh God. Oh God. Pacifist runners have proven that those rooms are doable without killing any spirits, and I don't want to live in a world like that. Um, let's get back to it. Okay, so Cooney, you're kind of coming in near the tail end, because I've actually picked up most of the notes and I'm here for the very last one. Acro is going to give me the final note so that we can go into the music box. But so far we've done things like we had to do Riviere without Wingsuit because Wingsuit was at the Riviere boss, which is totally doable and pretty cool actually. It was a lot of fun to have to do that without the Wingsuit. What else? Our first real item. Oh, jeez. That's what I get for talking. I'm trying to make Kovic feel bad, but I just die at his spot. Alright. Let me try it again. Makes me feel good. Whatever, dude. Wow. How am I screwing this up now? See, this is what happens. This is what happens. I get the kappa, and now I just can't. I just can't right now. Hang on. Let me try it again. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore. I was trying to do it without... Okay, hang on. There we go. God damn it. Alright. So, Acro's going to be like, hey, what's going on? Thanks for saving me. And now I have all the notes. So, I'm going to go ahead and die here like I normally do. And we're going to go to Music Box. I need an adult. Can I get any upgrades? None that I want. Oh, you know, I realize how crappy... Because the randomizer, especially how it is right now, actually makes the run really short because you cut out almost half of it, right? So the randomizer... I did one last night. It took an hour. So Messenger Randomizer are actually pretty short to start out with, which you probably could imagine, but it's still kind of nice. We were in talks also about being able to configure how many notes you had to get so you could get less notes to get in the music box, or maybe more and have to go and find these two as well. That might be possible. I think I might be able to mix these two up into the spread. I just think that there are some weird checks in place that because the game just hard assumes they're here. So there might be some hacking to do to make that work. But obviously getting all of them, even though I did not go to all the places. I never went to the Corrupted Feature. I did not have to. Never went to Forlorn Temple. I never went to Underworld. So... but I was able to get all these. They put the notes in just right. And the rest of the game is, well, so just the music box, which is untouched. So we just make sure that the game can end. Can I do the thing? That is the final question to ask tonight. Can I do the thing? Let's find out. I do not have a lot of upgrades because you don't get as much money in a rando. You have to really go look for it. Yeah, and Kovic, you're right. I mean, it could be made longer. This I tried to look for a relatively simple one because let me think, the tabbies was the first item to get, and it was vanilla. So you go to do that, and then go to Sun to do the to get the grapple hook. So I mean, finding both those items real fast. And you know what? The other thing to consider too, because I'm thinking about how long it took me, but I have the freaking spoiler log, so I know where everything is. So I have not even tried to figure what it would be like to just go and look for items without the spoiler log. But you can't really do that until a logic system exists, because you're playing the logic system at that point. And if there's no logic system, there's really nothing to it. You can't really say like, oh, I'll go do this check because it couldn't possibly be there. I mean, it could. There's nothing stopping it from being one place or another yet until we put that in place. That's when the randomizer will get good. Right now, it's just putting stuff places, and it may not even be beatable. Yeah, that'll absolutely be the next big phase for this thing, is to create a logic system. And that's a huge endeavor. But this was a big moment. I wanted to make sure that a randomizer was even doable with the way the game's logic for checking for items and stuff was. I wasn't entirely sure if I could get away with it for all the items. I still have problems with... so, like, for instance, I did not randomize any of the Elder Quest stuff you probably noticed. So, the tea seed, the leaf, the candle, none of that's randomized because that quest chain is stupid. And I don't mean stupid as in a waste of time. I mean stupid as in all the checks it does to make sure that the state of the game is in the right spot is really out there. About every single part of that quest chain, make sure that you do not already have the candle. So I would have to get into every portion of that quest and start messing around with the state of like the cutscene activations, and so I can make sure that like, oh, if I have the candle, I still may need to pick up what's at the tea seed location, right? I need that cutscene to happen because there could be something there. Same with if I have the tea leaf and I want to go turn it in but haven't checked the tea seed, it should not eat the tea seed item because that could be something required. So a lot of things like that have to be considered. There we go. So anyway, long story short, I took that whole stuff out because I didn't care enough. The major reason was because putting the candle in for any reason is pointless. You get the portal at the beginning of the game. All the portals are opened. So there's no reason to go to Dark Cave. You can get straight into Riviera from the portal. So the only reason why I would put it into the mix would be as a red herring. Uh-oh. Oh, I deserve that. Now, do I want red herrings in here? Absolutely. If I can get other spots that we could consider as good places to put items, we should think about adding them. So I can put things like, oh, well, hey, this thing gave you time shards. Ha ha, sucks. Or whatever we can think of. Which, by the way, giving time shards totally doable. That'd be a really easy one to implement. Yeah, it just gives you like, alright, so you beat the moth and you got 10 time shards. I bet you hate yourself. Alright. Or you go, or probably even funnier if you do like have to go through Forlorn. Like if you decide to go check Forlorn and you get nothing for it, so you have to go get all the Phobikins and stuff, and then you find out there's nothing there except pain and sadness. Oh, ruthless. I know. I've been in a mood lately. Maybe it's because of all of this code. I don't think I'd ever go that far. I would leave. Oh, I can't do this. I would leave the time crystal, like the big crystal collectors, alone. That's kind of ridiculous to have to memorize where all those things are. I mean, some people probably know it. I sure as hell don't. That's another thing too. A boss randomizer. That's another concept. Some of the bosses I wouldn't know how to do that. But definitely something to think about. Yeah, another thing, I forget how much it sucks to do this place without at least shuriken upgrades, but without the shop upgrade, because no one should have to do this. See, yeah, that's another thing too. Kind of like what Cooney was suggesting. If we start messing with the levels, maybe randomizing rooms to be upside down or moved around, or even reversing like what levels lead to what levels, stuff like that. Yeah, like I believe that it's doable. None of us, well, I haven't tried to dabble in anything like that. But that could be another avenue people go, if the interest is there. Oh, that's pretty good. There we go. It's a good beat. I don't know why I never get that one tile first try on any of my runs. But the last two randomizer seeds I practiced on, I've gotten that one tile first try. And that's another thing too, something that I'm going to have to remember to do when we're testing out the randomizer. I'm going to need to get people a little more casual to test it, because all I do is speedrun strats to get through these rooms, and so I forget if things are actually necessary. Casual, you say? To shreds, you say? Alright, so we made it all the way to Phantom. We'll just do the Phantom boss. Nothing here is randomized. The entirety of the ending of the game is still vanilla. It's all about getting into Music Box for the randomizer. So at this point, it's just making sure that I can do the thing, which there should be no reason why I can't. Oh, I always do that. Alright, Kovic, here's another one for you. Oh. Alright, we're going to play around with this. Oh, slow. Alright, one more little paddle. Oh, that's last one. There you go. And with the little swag slide. Input randomizer. Oh, Levy, what are you doing to us? I've seen stuff like that, not with randomizers per se, but with like, so there's been some talks about Twitch integration mods for the game, and I've seen some stuff like that, like community things where people could functionally mess with the game from the Twitch chat. And so Link to the Past had one where you could actually reverse all the controls on the keypad. Kovic, I'm very happy with that right now. All right, let's do the thing. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, I missed. I suck at mashing. Yeah, crowd control. Yeah, Jackson, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, what do I suck? And that's it. Randomizer's done. Game's beat. And it works. Man. Who's this guy? Right. Right. He tried to just mashing or like trying to do the concierge fight, but people keep changing what your mashing button is. Makes you want to punch babies. That's it. I'm just happy that it works. And it's completely beatable. Let me phrase that better. Uh, that there are no bugs stopping you from actually finishing the game. So, I mean, it works. Jeez. Okay. So let me take this moment to kind of walk y'all a little bit. Yeah. So what I'm going to recommend for this very first version is you need to make sure ahead of time before you try the seed that it's actually beatable. If you decide if you decide to roll your own, which I can show you how it's done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up some just like leftover stuff I want to clean up in the code, do a final package up of it, and then I'm going to do some documentation writing for how to use this so that people can try. This comes in from the logs of the game so that you can look and see like, hey, is this even beatable? If it's not beatable, then you would just need to roll it again and again and again and again and again and again and again before you get one. I had to roll before I got this one. I had to roll it about 15 times, so it is easily doable to like soft lock yourself. When I mean soft lock, I mean just to not make it beatable. If you put either wingsuit or grapple in a place that you can't reach it, you can't beat the game. And I know the same thing with the that's possible. The same thing with the magic boots, but really anything here, if it's required and you can't get to it for some reason, there you go. Let's see. So, oh, Sam, thank you for the bits. I really appreciate that. That's very nice. And I also appreciate that cool Sawyer. Best looking Sawyer right there. So the way that I envision if you wanted to run this thing yourself when it's built, I'm going to try to put this in documentation, Will, but I'm going to show you how I set up for it. So you'll have to install the mod itself, and there's documentation on how to do it. You essentially go to you're essentially going to take the zip file from my mod the same way that you would install the trainer into Courier. You'll take the rando mod and you'll essentially just put it here, put the whole zip file. I have the actual code here because it's faster for me to just rebuild it and just build it right into the mods folder. But for you, you'll just place the zip file here, and then if you have Courier loaded, which you'll have to, and then it works. So that's step one. Step two is to have the save file. So in order for the randomizer to actually work for you, you'll need to be in a particular state. Because we want the randomizer, in my mind right now, we definitely want it to start in the Tower of Time HQ. It doesn't really make sense to do it any earlier than that. I have added that the portals are opened, and that you have only climbing claws. So I set up a save file that kind of puts you right into that state. Hidden somewhere. Let me see. It should be right here. It's that one. So it's that one right there. So if you just take this one, rename it, and put it into your save file location for the game, like you would if you were loading in any other save, then you'll have a good rando save file. And if you ever want to try a new randomizer, you'll need to reload a new one until we improve the mod in such a way where it can do that for you. That would definitely be another thing. I tried to do it early on. I wasn't successful at it, at building the save file myself or generating it while the game was running. So stuff to mess with later. So step 2 would be to take this file that you can't read and to throw it in there, just like any other one. So no big deal there. That one will come packaged with it, and I'll probably rename it for you. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. So step 3, and this is kind of an optional one, and one that I would recommend, especially the first time trying it out, is to provide a seed. So I mentioned it a little bit earlier. The randomizer runs on seeds as you would expect it to, and they actually get saved into a mod save file that Courier hosts. And I throw the seeds for each save file, first, second, and third, so that if you ever restart the game, you still keep that seed. And this will only change if you generate a new one. When you get started, you probably will have nothing in here. And so I'll probably have directions in the documentation to say, hey, I recommend when you're first starting out to go and populate this mod option and put this seed into the first spot so that you can play the seed that I just played. That number 339596 will play the seed that I just played. If you choose not to do that and put anything else or roll your own, it'll be up to you to ensure that it's actually beatable before you try. And I'll show you how you can do that. So when I load up the game, there is a mod option only on the main screen to generate a seed. It says right here. So all it wants to know is which save file you want to be in. 1, 2, or 3. Any other number doesn't do anything, so don't even bother. But if I say want to change the seed on the second save file, I select it, I press start, it takes you back. So you just confirm, press enter, whatever that key is for you, and it takes you back to the screen. That's how you know it worked. So what happened is it actually, the game logged that it did that, and it logged what items it put in place. I'm going to come back here and kind of leave this. Save file 0 should do nothing. It does. Okay, good. I wanted to test that because you're right. 0 is always a fun number. So if you open the directory that hosts the Steam files for the game, I have too many things open. That's what happens when you... Oh my god, I'm staring at it. It's right in front of me. So like for me, it's Steam Apps Common. I have it on an off drive. There's a log. So this is the executable that starts the game. There is a log file that the game writes to keep stuff up, and I have thrown randomizer stuff inside that log. I happen to have a Linux terminal open that's following that log. I left it running while I was playing so I could find stuff. But if I open that log in particular, you can see that right here. Can I make this bigger for you? You can see right here in the log that when I generated a new seed, I'm just kind of looking at this log. I haven't looked at it in a while. Oh, am I looking at it weird? Yeah, just a bunch of weird stuff there. Yeah, okay, there you go. That looks right. So it tried to generate seed 54304, and it put it in the second slot. And that is the spoiler logs. So it shows you where everything is at. So if I take a quick look at this, I look and I see, okay, so the wingsuit is at Key of Chaos, which is Underworld. So the question is, can I get to Underworld without the wingsuit? Maybe. Where's the magic boots? Magic boots is at Key of Love. Oh my god. So magic boots being at Key of Love, I think immediately disqualifies it because I can't get into the sunken shrine door without the magic boots. So the magic boots being inside that door makes this particular seed impossible. This one wouldn't be able to be completed. So this is, you would just keep rolling it over and over until you got one that you liked. Or I'll provide one that I know is completed or doable, and I might try to roll a few more that I think can be done and provide them, and they'll give you opportunities to mess with it. And you can see here in the file, I think when does it update? When does it update? I think it updates when I do that. Yep, there it is. So that seed we just created is now put inside the save file. So the second slot actually uses that. That's how you mess with them. Now, that's kind of it, I suppose. I suppose that's kind of it. So what I'm going to do next when I'm offline is I'm going to clean things up, document this stuff, and then I'm going to put it out there on the Discord for y'all to take a look at. And when y'all do, I might actually talk with Colt too to see if we can set up a rando channel. I guess in the speed run it might make sense for now. I don't see rando getting too big to need anything more than that. But we might put up a rando channel, and then I can throw stuff in there. And then I'll kind of let it loose to y'all, and y'all can ask me questions if y'all have problems setting it up, and you're interested in messing around with it. And then give me feedback on it so that I can make notes on that as I iterate over this tool. And that's it. I appreciate y'all watching and checking out the new rando. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see how it goes. This thing is going to be emotionally driven by the community. So I had a great time writing it, and I will probably continue to do so as long as the community desires it. So the one major thing I was worried about when writing this was mainly, is this even going to be fun to run? I think that it can. I think that there is a potential for it because of the challenges that it can add. I think that because of the challenges they can add to the game based on like what the seed provides, but that's going to rely heavily on the logic system, which needs to get built in next. So